So, hello, good morning, and thanks for staying here so long. And I'm very excited here to introduce Tembo to you. So, before going to Tembo, let's tell me about myself. I'm nearly 18 or 19 plus experience. At past, I've been associated with Teradata, Protegrity, worked for distributed payment switches also, and worked in data security domain also. But right now, from last 2 years, I'm involved with Postgres. So I'm new to Postgres, but the way the architecture and the design and the community is, it's awesome. So I must say. And how this Postgres community has grown up in just in few years and all those in India. I can just say when I first attended PGCon in Bangalore. I think it was 23, I guess, and in 24 I saw the crowd. So makes a lot of difference now. Okay. So I'm fortunate enough to contribute one of the extension that is PG tier and timescale, and one of the interesting, very less known Parquet S3 FDW, and it's a completely Toshiba contributed, and it's one of the most powerful extension for working, if you're working for putting data into S3 and retrieving it, and even it supports inserts and deletes also into that. So it's completely C++. I enjoyed working with that. So that's about me. And does anyone know what Tembo stands for? What does Tembo means? Elephant? Yeah, absolutely. In Swahili. It's in Tanzanian language. And mostly in the African region. But my mental model of Tembo is something I got inspired from my kid. I can see a lot of parents here. Kids love stuffed animals as a toy. So our version of Tembo is something stuffed. Gray fabric, green overalls, exactly like this. So I will talk about it. You will get the notion why I'm talking about it in the coming slide. But the most interesting thing, we will talk about Tembo stacks. What does this stack means in our ecosystem? After that, we will do a quick walkthrough how to deploy one, and what is the user experience that get when you are working on a Tembo. There are main three philosophical pillars we really believe in Tembo. One is that the data stack in last decade are now very complex. It is very much dependent on complex third-party tools and all those things. We in Tembo believe that Postgres and its extensions can remove a lot of those things, and it can give you more or less similar performance and similar requirements will be met using those things. That is why we call it do it all in Postgres. We are developer-centric. We want to reduce the bar of accessing the complex system just with the ease of configurability. You got your system, configure, and you have some use cases. You go to the benchmarks that we have produced with the help of extension. You cherry pick those extension, plug in, and you should be having a playground where you can test it out, it works fine or not. That's done. Lego, the concept of Lego, plug and play. So that's where we are thinking about. We love open source. We contributed as a form of extensions. We know pgvector. It's one of the most powerful in the vector domain, but we did something interesting over it. What? Is it okay now? Okay. So pgvector, we did what? we try to automate your embedding operations a bit, because when you insert a new data, you don't have to worry about it. In the backend, asynchronous triggers will go. It will recollect or recalculate all your embeddings, and immediately in the real time you give the search, you will get that results back in that. We also provided a trunk that is a registry, and this registry is mostly Rust-based, basically. So what you can do, you can cherry pick, and you can deploy in the runtime. So it has a lot of capabilities. We have written operators, especially for deploying in the cloud. So we call it Tembo operators. So it's a Kubernetes operators. And first, we want to talk about some of the few major milestones. As you can see, we started our first seed round in January 23. We are not very young, but some of the major milestones which I want to really talk about is our first GA, general availability, in January 2024. And during that time, the PG extension network, PGXN, we asked David Wheeler, we shared our philosophy with him. He was quite excited and he onboarded with us. Now, PGXN and trunk, David Wheeler is taking care of it. So how we can make it more easy, more robust, and more runtime pluggable thing. So that's what he's working on. We also have self-hosted, but I would like to stress more into our August, this month. We expanded to more regions. We are now available in Europe. Few of the customers were looking for that region due to their GDPR compliances. And we also opened up in Singapore, so that is APAC. And if you just take a look, in September 23, we introduced an idea of stack. This is what we are going to talk about in the next. Tembo stack has a very special meaning. And we have a dedicated team to manage each and every stack, benchmark them, and we do a lot of experiment with our stacks. Stack is nothing but, it's a Postgres, vanilla Postgres, which is stuffed with the extensions, tied up with some auxiliary applications if there is a gap among some of the use cases. And these are all designed by keeping a developer in the mind. So what is the developer's boilerplate problem for getting ready for complex environment? So if you can solve that part, and just they need to think that, okay, I want to build a chatbot. For that, what are the steps that they need to do? At Tembo, we have cut it down to a single query. So you don't need anything. You just need to know your transformer. You need to know the model. Just configured. And even we provide many transformers, which are open source and all those things. Just you need to create a job. You collect everything, and you're ready for the search. So that's the simplicity we are talking about, and we are actually leveraging the power of all these things to bundle it out as a Postgres flavor. That's what we call stacks. Hope this makes, because we talk about stacks a lot of time in Tembo and in every brainstorm, and you will see the really what stack means here. Okay. This is not pgvector right now. I'm calling vector pgvector DB, but underneath it's pgvector only. So let's see how easy is to deploy a stack and how is it to get ready with this vector power in Tembo. I can run a program, I can run a video, or I can just play a video. So let me see. Yeah. So in Tembo Cloud, it's showing dashboard for me. I think I have logged in, that's why. You just click. I have some of the instances created for Hyderabad, but let's go to this. All these are Postgres's, but what extensions it comes with, you can see the description on the right side of it. You can see what type of use cases it supports, or it will be good enough to know about it. This is a vector DB, and vector DB comes with pgvector. I want to scroll a bit. pgvector. pgvectorize is a Tembo extension, and nothing but we have automated pgvectors, most of the operations here. And we have introduced a message queue just for making embedding calculations and other things as an asynchronous job. So you will get an inbuilt all these things. And pgcron, you can just schedule your jobs of re-evaluating your embeddings and all those things. So, and if you see, there are more than 10 to 11, and we have separated out RAG. We have Mongo alternative, machine learning, a separate stack. Now, I think, okay, this is not, we are actually trying to get something in PareDB too. So this is about our stack. I think I would I think I'm not able to turn these things because, wait a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm taking too much of your time. So I will just skip some of this. Okay. Quickly, I will just explain. We have installed one of the pgvector stack, and with the pgvector, we have an example product. We are just copying and creating our own product table just for this example, just 40 inserts. And let us see what type of data it is. So it's product ID, product name, and description. What we are going to do here, we will try to do semantic search. For doing semantic search, we will collect some embeddings, and once we have the embeddings ready, we will do the semantic search. Once we are done with the semantic search, we will do a simple insert. We will add new product. Let's see, we will run again the same search, and we will see that whether that search thing is giving us the new results or not. this is the search job that I'm trying to create here, and this is the table on which the embeddings will be targeted, and the columns, the primary key we have opted, the columns against which this embeddings will be created means these are the features which will define which will be taken care or which will be used for semantic search, and the sentence transformer that is just we have used in the open source one, and you can schedule it accordingly. It is real time, means it will happen right now. You can see that queue is already, there is a message queue behind it which is triggered, which has already calculated everything, and you are getting your materialized view ready with this product name, and you also created a table which will be augmented with the embedded column. So we'll soon get this. Yeah. So this is how your new table will look. Sorry. So this is the first semantic search. And after that, we will do a quick insert and just moving it fast for the sake of time. Yeah, I inserted a new product, pizza, and just doing the same search. I haven't recalculated the embeddings, anything. Your insert has already triggered the embeddings, and now we are getting this. The automation that pgvectorize did, I don't want to talk much about this because already enough context has been given. The type of work that Tembo is trying here is to ease the gap by absorbing the complexity and giving something very simple which you can just start with. So this is so far the testimonials that our one of few of the customers has got and given us when we were just showing up, and they accepted it, and right now they are into the productions also. So yeah, that's all. I just want to introduce Tembo to you all in a brief, in a glance. Feel free to just log in, create an account. You will get a hobby tier. You can create 2 instances for free and try it out, what potential, what extensions, and how we can get the extensions from this.